thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about how to conjugate a verb in Spanish. There are a few things that you need to know first. The first thing is that there are three types of verbs in Spanish: AR verbs, ER verbs, and IR verbs. Now, what does that mean? It simply means that the infinitive form of the verb ends in either AR, ER, or IR. Okay, so what is the infinitive form of the verb? Here we go. The infinitive form of the verb is the form of the verb that ends in either AR, ER, or IR. I call it the to form of the verb, as in to sing, to walk, to run. So that leaves us to finally answer the question, how do you conjugate a verb? I'm glad you asked. To conjugate a verb, you must take off the last two letters, which is the infinitive ending, which we talked about right there. Then you're going to add the appropriate ending. We're going to look at that step by step next, but just to know, to conjugate a verb, you take off the last two letters and add the appropriate ending. So if you have the verb hablar, you take off the AR ending and you would add the appropriate ending, which tells you who's doing the action. In this segment, we're going to be looking at how to conjugate an AR verb specifically, and we'll talk about ER and IR verbs in a different video. Let's go. Now let's look at some practical examples. Here we're going to look at AR verb endings, and each one of the verbs has their own set of endings, which is why we're going to deal with them separately. In this video, again, we're going to look at the AR verb endings. So remember, as I said before, each one of the endings tells you who's doing the action. So here we have o, as, a, amos, ais, an. The o ending is for I. So I am doing the action. When you have the o ending, I'm doing the action. As. You are doing the action there. Okay? The as ending. When you see that, that means you are doing this action. For this one, the a ending, it's he or she or you. Now, that's going to take a little bit of explanation. I'll get to that in just a minute. He, she, or you. This whole side right here is singular. So we have the first person singular, second person singular, and this is all third person singular. We'll explain that in a minute. Amos is for we. Who's doing the action there? We are. Ais, you all. Or as I usually say, y'all. And the an ending is for they. That's both masculine and feminine. And it's also for you all. Okay, so these are the people who are doing the action in these verb endings. On the right side here, this is all plural. On the left side, it is all singular. This is why I use this format, 1, 2, 3 here, and 1, 2, 3 there. There are two ways to say you in Spain. Tu and usted. One is formal, and one is familiar, or friendly and polite. The AS ending is the friendly ending, okay, or familiar, F-A-M. The A ending is the polite ending. You would use this ending with someone that you would address as Mr. or Mrs., someone with a title like president or pastor, or stranger, someone that you don't know that you're meeting for the first time. So again, up here, the AS ending is familiar on the singular side. So on the plural side, the AIS ending is also going to be familiar. Down here, again, as I said, the A ending is polite, and so the AN ending on the plural side is also going to be polite. Okay? The same reasoning that I just gave. Now here in the United States and Latin America, that's not the case. We just use the AN ending for everybody. And for those of you who are in school, your teachers may not teach you the AIS ending, or for the ER and IR verbs as well. They might skip this. You might just see a little star there. As my teacher told me when I was in high school, oh, you don't really need to learn that because you'll just only use that if you go to Spain. I went to Spain, and I'm so thankful that my college professor, probably my sophomore year in college, he taught us this ending. And he said, you're going to need to know this when you go to Spain. He just spoke that positively about it. So shout out to Don Carlos from Gordon College. Thank you so much for teaching this to me, because I kind of felt really smart when I got to Spain, and I actually knew what to say and I knew how to talk. So I am very, very grateful for that. All right, let's take a verb now. Hablar. Hablar means to speak or to talk. So remember the rule I just taught you. To conjugate a verb, you're going to take off the last two letters. Okay? The AR ending, you're going to take that off, and you're going to add the O ending. And what do we have? Hablo. Okay? The HABL is the root of the word. The AR, in this case, is the ending, and over here, the O is the ending. So let's go through. Here we have hablo. We put on the O. We're going to put on the AS now. Hablas, habla, hablamos, habláis, and hablan. And just a quick side note, you see the accent mark here on the A and I's? That makes us stress that part of the syllable, I's. So in English, if we were to see this word, we would naturally want to say habláis, just because that's what our English rules have told us to do, which is why the accent mark is actually written there so that we can stress that sound or that syllable, habláis. So can you just read all of these right through with me, and you're almost done. Hablo, hablas, habla, hablamos, habláis, hablan. You're done, you did it, you just learned how to conjugate a verb in Spanish. If you'll tune in next week, I'll teach you the ER verb endings instead of the AR verb endings. You've got the format, you've got the rules of how to already, now you just need the information. I didn't want to overload you in this video. Okay, y'all, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm putting up the notes now from the beginning of the video of those 3 things that I talked about in regards to conjugating a verb. Thank you again for tuning in, and please hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe so that you'll know when my next video has been uploaded. Leave me a comment as well. Let me know if you appreciated anything in this, if it made things a little bit clearer for you. Thanks for watching. Peace.